Hello, 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 and welcome to the channel. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about Operation Dragon Eye. 60 critically missing children located in most successful operation. And this is the most successful operation in U.S. history. This happened in Tampa, Florida. We're going to get into this story because this just happened yesterday, so I'll let you hear a news clip first.
They're calling it Operation Dragon Eye, a massive 2-week operation that has led to the rescue of more than 60 missing children across our region, many of them victims of human trafficking. 10 Tampa Bay's Eric Glasser has more on what officials are calling the largest child recovery mission in U.S. history.
This is what it's all about. This is why we do the job.
In a show of collaboration unlike anything before it, more than 100 personnel from 20 agencies joined forces in what's being called the most successful child recovery effort in U.S. history.
These kids have been through painful, disastrous situations, but at least today we've rescued them and we now can work towards recovery.
Using intel from the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children, Operation Dragon Eye led to the recovery of 60 juveniles, ages 9 to 17, many of them missing, some trafficked, all considered in danger.
We were able to identify at least 26 children recovered who had been previously reported missing to NCMEC.
The number is not just a statistic, it represents a life and a future that was given one more chance.
The effort also resulted in the arrest of 8 suspects, now facing charges from child endangerment to human trafficking.
Because experience tells us if the offenders are not apprehended, they will reconnect with these children. They are, in my opinion, leeches.
To ensure the children received immediate and long-term care, recovery hubs were set up, counseling, resources, and shelter at places like the Children's Home Network in Tampa.
And maybe today will be the day that that young person decides to make major changes in their life. Maybe today is not that day. But today, at least, that day of recovery, that day, we know that they are safe.
Officials hope Operation Dragon Eye also sends a message that Florida is committed to arresting and keeping those who would exploit or traffic vulnerable children behind bars. In Tampa, Eric Glasser, 10 Tampa Bay.
And one of the cities in our area that saw the highest rate of success during Operation Dragon Eye was St. Petersburg. St. Pete police submitted 11 names of missing children, and of those, all 11 were located.
The unique part of this operation was the fact that underage, critically missing children ranging from age NINE to 17 were not only recovered, but were debriefed and provided with physical and psychological care. This operation further included follow-up assistance in hopes that these youth will not return back to the streets to be further victimized. William Berger, United States Marshal, Middle District of Florida, said. According to USMS, critically missing children are those who are at risk of crimes of violence or those with other elevated risk like substance abuse, sexual exploitation, crime exposure, or DV. Operation Dragon Eye was much more than a U.S. Marshal Service operation. It was a community initiative, said U.S. Marshals Service Deputy in Charge Mario Price. This operation had 3 primary objectives: recover critically missing youth, provide them with essential services, including appropriate placement, and to deter bad actors exploiting missing child vulnerabilities. The majority that were being trafficked, the 8 people that we arrested, it wasn't just a child. Some of them had multiple children working for them. You know, in the old days, we used to call them pimps. Now it's human traffickers. But they're criminals, said Bill Berger, who is the U.S. Marshal for the Middle District of Florida. Berger said those arrested are facing charges of human trafficking, child endangerment, and rug possession. They know these children were underage. If you look at the average age of the offender, well into their 30s and 40s, and then the age of the children were from NINE to 17, said Berger. In addition to receiving missing children, the operation also arrested 8 people with charges that included human trafficking, child endangerment, narcotics possession, and custodial interference. Let's go a little deeper inside with how the U.S. Marshals were out finding the youth.
Well, tonight, a rare, unfiltered look inside the largest child recovery operation in U.S. history.
60 children and teens being trafficked in Tampa Bay are safer tonight. U.S. Marshals led a 2-week operation to recover critically missing and endangered children. The Marshals, along with local law enforcement agencies, were able to locate the missing kids ages 9 to 17. And police also made 8 arrests.
The number is not just a statistic, it represents a life and a future that was given one more chance.
And we are giving you an inside look. Fox 13's Genevieve Curtis spent a day with the Marshals and a team of detectives on the front lines of a missing child investigation. What she witnessed, you'll see for yourself. Here's an exclusive look of that search.
The search for a missing child takes investigators to all kinds of streets, alleyways, and motels.
Can I give you my number? So you call me, you see her?
Since 2015, the U.S. Marshals, known for their ability to find wanted fugitives, have been using their investigative skills to recover critically missing kids.
You got a minor in your house, bro.
Over the course of 2 weeks, the Marshals teamed up with detectives in Tampa, Hillsborough County, Pinellas County, and St. Pete, as well as Pasco County, to find kids in dangerous situations. We joined up with the Tampa team, made up of TPD detectives from the Special Victims Unit and U.S. Deputy Marshal Paul Cerasi.
First one's a 15-year-old female. It's been missing since the beginning of April. We got some leads that she might be in the West Tampa area, so we're going to be following up there today, seeing if we can locate her.
The team has been looking for a missing 15-year-old girl. We're calling her Paula.
We believe that they're in a company with adults who are aiding them, hiding them, providing them resources such as food and housing.
Detectives say she ran away from her mom's home, and the task force is concerned for her safety.
Common sense would dictate that adults who are not relatives do not take care of other people's children for nothing. They're getting something in return. So due to that, we have serious concerns that there may be exploitation occurring.
Be in that area?
Okay.
So do that first. The team got some good leads from a West Tampa neighborhood the day before and decide to keep working that area.
So yeah, a couple blocks now.
Detective Tony Ortiz has been in contact with Paula's mom.
And that's very concerning for any parent. And she's been gone since April this time, and she hasn't run away that many times before.
They rely on information from the community, knocking on doors and just talking to people.
It's the girl they looking for right here, supposed to be.
We just want to take her back to her mom, man.
I gave him my number.
Next, we check a corner store that has a camera outside. There's no video of her, but someone recognizes Paula's photo.
But she's been here by herself.
The task force says many of the children they're looking for during this operation are in the foster care system, and many find themselves running from something or towards something, but oftentimes get into a more dangerous situation.
Just because a young person ran away or just because someone asked them to leave, it doesn't make them any less at risk.
At a command center, partner agencies are gathering information and working leads on the missing kids to then pass on to the officers in the field.
We know that when kids are missing, kids are at risk.
Dr. Catherine Gomez is the director of human trafficking intervention for the Florida Department of Juvenile Justice. She says trafficking happens in every county and every city in Florida, where kids are exploited by adults in exchange for food, clothing, or shelter.
There are kids from here, born here, raised here. There are kids being exploited right here in Florida by fellow local people.
This operation, Operation Dragon Eye, started with a list of around 60 to 80 missing kids. When we visited the command center 8 days in, the count showed more than 40 had been found.
We're worried about this kid. We've wondered where they've been and what they've been up to.
Gomez says after recovery, they worked through next steps, which could include launching investigations into child abuse or other criminal investigations, and finding a safe place for the child. Underscoring this urgent search for these kids is what can happen if they aren't found. This year, 16-year-old Miranda Corset went missing. Gulfport police say she was chronically running away from her grandmother's home.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Police arrested 35-year-old Stephen Gress for allegedly beating her to death and then dismembering her body. In 2022, 14-year-old Alexia Alexander was found shot to death in East Tampa after running away from home. 44-year-old Ronnie Walker was arrested for her murder. So the marshals know after 3 months, it is critical to find Paula.
One of the comments that we got from one of the guys on the street was that she's going to end up hurt or dead.
Yeah, we might just suit up.
A few hours into the search, a new lead comes in. They have a location for her. The task force approaches the home.
Tampa police. Looking for her. The information that she's here. Yes, sir.
Bro.
Tabian's here. What's your name, sir? She's here.
We know she's here. We know she's here.
Hold on. Let me go check. I've been here all day.
Hold on. Don't close the door. Don't close the door.
Just have her come outside, bro.
That's it. That's all we want.
That's all we want.
We don't care about anybody else in the house.
And when detectives search inside, they find Paula.
We searched the house, knocked on the brother's door, brother answered, and juvenile was hiding under his bed. So right now we're just gonna follow the investigation, see if we can make any arrests, and see where we can go from there.
2 men at the home claimed they didn't know she was underage. And at this time, the task force doesn't have enough to make an arrest. But they say the investigation will continue.
We need to show to the court that he knew she was a minor. We're not there yet.
When we started this day, Detective Tony Ortiz shared with me his approach when he finds the teens.
And I'm gonna talk to her mostly as a father. Mostly as a father figure, not as a law enforcement officer. And I'm gonna hear her out, see what she has to say.
And a few hours later, that is exactly what he was doing with Paula.
And your mom wants you back. You have to live your life you have to live your childhood. Don't skip on childhood. You don't miss out.
The next stop will be a special unit at St. Joseph's Hospital where Paula can receive physical and mental health services and the resources to perhaps find a safer path forward.
A lot of them don't have any hope, and that's what we're also doing with this operation is trying to instill hope.
In Tampa, Genevieve Curtis, Fox 13 News.
Well, today, Genevieve also spoke with U.S. Marshal William Berger, who used to be a foster parent and understands the environments that can cause children to run away in the first place. He says the risk for them running away is high.
What we've done is two-pronged. One is, again, being able to identify them, being able to save them, but then putting them in a process with, as mentioned, daycare and other facilities to help them both physically and psychologically. And hopefully we can turn it around. We're praying that if 50% of the children can be saved permanently, that's a tremendous success.
Tomorrow night, we're going to take you inside the hub where medical staff, advocates, and survivors of trafficking are providing help and resources to the children recovered during this operation.
According to the St. Petersburg Police Department, officers located 11 missing juveniles and arrested 2 people, 1 with human trafficking. This operation is a powerful example of the importance of collaboration, said Tampa Police Department Chief Lee Burkhaw. These arrests and recoveries serve as a reminder of the Tampa Police Department's commitment to fight to protect our most vulnerable. I thank you for watching. I thank you for listening. My prayers are up to all the families and to all the children that were found. And I hope that this can be continued in not just that state, but in every state where there are youth missing. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave in the comments if you have heard anything about this story. Maybe if you know of someone missing or if you know of someone found. Again, thank you for watching and stay safe.